probably the biggest caveat is SOPs are important only if you're going to follow them. Don't waste your time making a million SOPs and then have to dust them off every now and then when you're like, oh yeah, what was that? What was I going to do for that? So I am a classic case of, ooh, shiny new object. What's that platform? I want to try that. What is that? Is that going to make my life easier? And I'll do it every now and then. I'll test things out. But you have to be ruthless in cutting it if it doesn't work, or if it's just creating another step that is not ultimately going to help you. I do this all the time. Products that we have, platforms that we use, they release something new from it. I'm like, ooh, that seems like that could solve this problem. I'll test it for a couple weeks, and I am relentless in cutting it if it's just one more step that's hindering me. So I will definitely say, make sure that you're not just adding fluff to your stuff. So another thing for how I get started with creating SOPs is I think about the different buckets of what I need to do, whether it's project management, whether it's creative planning, whether it's profitability tracking. What are the things that need to be systematized in each of your primary buckets that you're responsible for? And then honestly, make the list of the things that you hate to do the most and start there to tackle them. Because those things that you hate to do are the ones that are always going to annoy you. You'll get paralyzed by them of trying to like, oh, I have to go and do that. And it's the task that keeps rolling for you. And then everything falls away from that. So make your bucket list of what you need to prioritize and then go after it. So I'm getting some head nods. Seems like this sounds familiar to everyone. So let's start with sort of my must-have tech stack, regardless of team size. So for me, project management and communication is at the core of everything. For that, I really focus on about 4 platforms that help us. Basecamp is something that I've been a tried and true user of for 3 businesses now. So I think I might be like OG back to the original Basecamp platform, version 1 ages ago. So I think I've been on it for maybe about 19 years now. So I've definitely honed in my processes on Basecamp. If everyone likes Asana, there's different platforms, whatever it is, pick one and just make sure you live and breathe by it. I also love Tract. It's a little plugin that ties into Basecamp, and it allows you to do Kanban boards in Basecamp. And I love that. That was probably always my biggest gripe with Basecamp, of being able to sort by projects or different lanes of what I need to be focusing on. Slack. We invite all of our clients into Slack who are interested. And then I also use Field Trip, which is a tie-in for Basecamp into Slack. And so why I do that is because, and you can customize what pulls into Slack for that client channel. But I don't know about you guys, but I get way too many emails every single day. And so what I tell clients and how I try to train them on using Basecamp for communication with us is I will get back to you faster if you use Basecamp. If you send me an email, you will be lost in the sea of all the emails that are there, and I will get back to you in 24 to 48 hours from there. If you need me, Slack me or put it in Basecamp, and I will get back to you ASAP. So I have any task updates where people comment, any messages from clients, all of those pull directly into that client's Slack channel for me. In terms of why all of this is so important is, again, it's just systematizing, onboarding and offboarding. I have in Basecamp. Is anyone familiar with Basecamp? Have you ever used it? Cool. Okay, we got a couple. So you can set up templates in there. You can actually do templates, or you can just even create your own faux sort of templates within there. Let me see if I can share. So I have for example, a paid media ads template. While I have all clients in here, I keep to-do lists in here. I have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, entire setup lists of everything from checking GTM tags, product catalogs, like all the things for the different stages of BFCM prep that we need to do. So I've got that. Jason has a bunch of all the notes as he's trying to figure out, GA4 resources, things like that. For example, as he's learning things, he creates messages that then we can easily use to customize for different clients and what he needs to remember and share with them. So what's great about that is it just systematizes it. You've got your onboarding messages. You've got all of those onboarding tasks, from clients who aren't as savvy, where I have screenshots saved in the tasks for them. This is how you share access with us. This is what we need. And it gives them gentle reminders 24 hours in advance of making sure that they're doing things. And then even offboarding, every now and then, we don't love it when clients leave, but they're going to. We like to make sure that it's very clear. We need you to leave access on for us until X date. We'll get you final reports by X date. Make sure you are removing us from your account. We're not liable. We won't touch anything, but it is your responsibility to remove us, that sort of stuff. We run creative briefs out of Basecamp, and then just general deadline management. So that's kind of the crux of project management and how we utilize those platforms. Does anyone have any questions or feedback or things that you're looking to try to solve? Yes, Kirby.
Yeah, we are similar. We run Slack. We use Asana instead of Basecamp. We've ran into some challenges with 90% of the communication happening in Slack, but then 10% happening in the project management. Do you just set expectations on we want you to comment on in Basecamp instead of Slack, or like how do you handle? Because I know I still miss stuff from my own team, let alone having clients in our Asana, and so how have you kind of structured that when it comes to communication on a certain project or ad hoc conversation or setting that expectation with the client since you invite them to both?
Yeah. So really good question. Part of that is just all about ongoing communication with them and gentle course corrections and nudges. So a lot of times, as clients who are a little bit more resistant to Basecamp from email, they'll send a message over through email because they have something on their mind quick, but it's not, I've drilled into them that Slack is emergency quick combo sort of messaging. Basecamp is for that more thoughtful, like, hey, I have a question about this. It's not an emergency, or, we're just doing general communication. Slack is like, hey guys, what's going on with sales? Or, I'm missing this asset, or any of those like quick combo type things. But when I get emails from clients, what I'll do is I will take it and I'll politely just say, great, Lee, I'm going to move this over into Basecamp and I will respond to you there. And so it's just those quick little course corrections where after a while, then they start to do it. But part of what I also do in the onboarding process with my to-do list is I record a video specifically for them. So it's customized for them. And I walk them through. This is your Basecamp. Here that you're going to see in this video different things that you don't get to see. Those, and I feel like that also makes them feel better because sometimes when they look at Basecamp, they're only seeing their tasks and messages. And I feel like it gives them that fun little behind the scenes so they know like all of these other tasks are here. You just don't see them. We're doing all this work that makes them feel good about it, even though they don't see it. And I kind of walk them through. You can reach your agreement is here in this docs area. Anytime you need to send a message, create a new message here. This is your to-do list. If you want to talk about something, here's a link to your agenda added into the weekly or bi-weekly agenda. I even use Slack. It's one of those silly things. I love when you find little hidden Easter eggs, but I don't know if anyone else does this, but I save our agenda, our Trello link, our Basecamp link, everything as bookmarks in Slack so that each of their client channels, they can easily then go and click out to those two. But that's how I handle that. Just polite, ultimately we try to partner with our clients for a long time, and we want them to know that we're not slapping them on the wrist, but hey, this is for your benefit. Everyone will see. I can tag Jason. It'll be easier if we're in here.